and good afternoon. Welcome to all of the faculty, staff, and students who are joining us today from the University of Alabama, Stillman College, Cape Coast University, Central University, the University of Ghana, and many other places in Alabama and around the world. Over the last 6 months, we've had to swiftly adapt, adjust, and reimagine higher education, how we work together, how we continue to carry out research, and how we teach our students. This virtual symposium is a testament to the way the world has transformed how we are meeting these challenges. While we are not able to welcome our colleagues from Ghana to our campuses here in Alabama in person this year, the spirit of our partnership continues unabated. My name is Dr. Pamela Young, and I'm the Director of Community Engagement and Economic Development in the College of Arts and Sciences at the University of Alabama. Today is the first of our 3 days together of sharing research, ideas, and experiences, a conversation and commitment to collaboration that has grown and strengthened, a relationship where we have sought to understand each other, provide our students new experiences, the diversity that exists around the world in thoughts and ideas, and add to the vitality of our research. Our conversation will include discussions around social determinants of health, race, gender, and memory of the slave trade, infectious diseases, and community-based rural health initiatives. All of the abstracts will be posted on the program webpage. We are also thankful for the pathway that Professors Thad Olson and Seth Apia Apoko laid down in developing partnerships with organizations, institutions, and communities as they have led numerous education abroad programs to Ghana over the years, and the warm hospitality shown to us by our Ghanaian colleagues when we visited Cape Coast and Accra last year. Today, we are honored to have with us leaders from our respective institutions whose bios will be posted on the webpage to give us words of welcome. I would first like to introduce the Provost of the University of Alabama, Professor James T. Dalton.
Good morning, everyone. It's great to be with you. I've been excited. This is my 53rd day as Provost at the University of Alabama. Yes, I am counting, and I want to thank Dr. Young and Dr. Pawlowski for bringing me up to speed on what's going on with Ghana. I understand it's the second research symposium and the partnerships between University of Alabama, University of Ghana, University of Cape Coast, Central University, as well as a collaboration with our neighbor, Stillman College. I've really got this off to a great start, and I was glad to see. I'm actually sorry to see that it looks like I started a year too late, because there was an opportunity to visit Ghana last year that I would have really welcomed. So hopefully that'll happen again in the future. And reading and learning about it, really excited about this, and I'm excited as well to be joined by Dean Messina from our College of Arts and Sciences, and Dr. Teresa Wise, who's an associate provost here in our office overlooking international affairs. I've learned that this is a really important research collaboration for us, as Dr. Young said, whether it be gender, race, and the shared memory of the slave trade, or the social determinants of health. These are things that are vital to us, and I've learned a lot about what we're doing in social determinants of health and the great health sciences colleges that we have here at the University of Alabama, and working closely with Dr. Christine Taylor in our Diversity, Equity, Inclusion office to make sure that we're looking back at the memories of the slave trade and some of the implications that are specific to Alabama as well. So it's great to meet you. I look forward to collaborating with you, and I hope to peek back in on the symposium a little bit later today to learn some of the great things that you're doing. So as Dr. Young said, I wish that you were here in Tuscaloosa, and we look forward to the day when that can happen.
Thank you so much, Professor Dalton. We really appreciate you joining us this morning and this afternoon for those in Ghana. So thank you for being with us.
You're welcome.
Next, I would like to introduce the Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences at the University of Alabama, Professor Joseph Messina.
Thank you very much. It's really an honor to be here today and to have this opportunity to speak with all of you. This is I'm a fairly new member of the University of Alabama. This is my 13th month here. And so I wasn't able to go to the Ghana trip last year either. However, I very much look forward to doing so in the future. This is my 25th year of working in Africa. So I have a lot of experience on the continent, and I'm very excited to have this opportunity to work with all of you in the future. We have a lot of honored guests here today, but of course, Provost Dalton's already had an opportunity to speak. We'll have the Dean of the Community Health speaking soon. I see the President of Stillman College here joining us this morning. It's very exciting. University of Ghana, the Pro Vice Chancellor for Student and Academic Affairs is here. At the University of Cape Coast, the Dean of the Center for International Education is here. It's very exciting. Central University, we have the Pro Vice Chancellor is here. And I see a number of my faculty colleagues, department chairs, colleague in geography as well. So it's a very exciting group. I'm very glad that you're all here today. If I can just take a moment to tell you a little bit about the College of Arts and Sciences. Of course, we should be here in person. It would be ideal if we were here in person, visiting, talking, having a lot of good conversations. That would be really valuable. So the College of Arts and Sciences is a large college in the University of Alabama. It's the core of the institution. We teach the core education. We have 23 departments. There are more than 50 majors in the college. There are more than 30 minors in the college. And at any given time, any given year, 30 or so thousand individual students of the 38,000 who are here at the university are taking classes within the college. So it's a big group. There's a lot of opportunity. It's a very diverse group that covers many different parts of sort of the academic spectrum as well. As the flagship institution for the state of Alabama, I think we bring a lot of opportunity and partnership potential with our colleagues in Ghana. We really do see great potential for research and creative activity exchange across these different fields, whether it's the natural sciences and mathematics or the social sciences or the performing arts. There's the scope of opportunity is really quite large. The college is a leader at the University of Alabama in international exchange and programming. We have many different study abroad programs. And of course, Dr. Seth in geography has been leading a study abroad in Ghana for many, many years. And was really the reason why we have this excellent exchange program now. The Alabama-Ghana program was modeled after two other successful arts and sciences international initiatives. And these are very long-standing programs in Greece and in Cuba. And our goal is really to increase global partnerships and support research and other kinds of creative activity and exchange among our students and faculty. As Dr. Plowski can attest, and I think some of the others of you who know me, I'm a firm believer in international education and international exchange in our work. I also believe very strongly in focusing on what I would call our friends. So I like to have fewer deep relationships with universities around the world rather than many thin relationships. And so my goal is to expand our relationship and deepen and strengthen our relationship with the universities in Ghana and make it a real centerpiece for arts and sciences international education, just as we've been able to model in both Greece and in Cuba. This is important. I think this is important as somebody who's worked in Africa for many years now. There's a bit of a tendency to show up, do something, and then leave and never hear from anybody again. And so I want to make sure that that doesn't become the kind of relationship that we have with all of our partners. I know you're investing your time and energy in this relationship, and it's important for us to make this commitment as well. Our first joint symposium was held at the University of Cape Coast last year, and it's already helped to create new collaborative research, curriculum, and study abroad programs. We hope that this symposium today will highlight some of those ideas and help us create some new partnerships as well. A few examples of these from last year, including like a proposal with Department of State between the University of Ghana and the college, including the departments of geography and criminal justice. There were Fulbright submissions. We are adding history and gender and race components to the relationship as we're trying to build it up. And also some service learning opportunities. One of the strengths of our college, of the university, and it's a personal mission of mine, is to have as many experiential learning opportunities for our students as possible. And so I think the sort of engaged, active exchange is very important, and I hope to promote that with the college and with all of you as we go forward. I see Dr. McCutcheon with the, we also have and exploring the idea of a hearing loss study as well in both Alabama and Ghana. So I think there are really opportunities here. We very much hope for these sustained partnerships and sharing of knowledge and ideas and our understanding, and make it a true commitment among our universities. So thank you very much, of course, for being here. Pamela, I don't know if I have a little bit of time left. I think I do.
Absolutely, yes, go right ahead.
So I was given the opportunity to say a tiny bit about me in my work in Africa. So as I mentioned at the beginning, my first research experience was in Tanzania in 1995. And I've worked across Eastern and Southern Africa mostly, a little bit in West Africa. I just concluding a project. I have some new papers that will be coming out that are based in Senegal, which is not very far away. And I've worked a number of Pan-African projects with the USAID and other agencies as well. I actually when I was given the opportunity to speak to you today, I said, I think I produced some cool maps of Ghana from my own work. So I actually found one. Can I share my screen? Is that possible? I'm not sure. Let me try to see if I can show a map, because I'm a geographer and that's what we do. So
that's great.
Here we go. Let's try this. Can all of you see Ghana? Is this working?
Yes, you can see it.
All right, so this is actually some work of my own. I've been very interested in sustainable agriculture and also work with respect to how communities in Africa and smallholder farmer systems in particular adapt to climate change. And so these are two maps from a presentation that I gave to USAID at one point that just shows sort of the resilience, the agricultural yield trends of Africa on the right, and the resilience and sensitivity to climate across the country. This is a big data model. So it's actually using an incredibly large archive of NASA satellite time series data collected daily, and then sort of exploring sort of the resilience of the agricultural system to climate shocks. And I think this probably reflects your understanding of the country as well, and sort of your experience in the country too. And then the other map is actually something that we've only done for a few countries in Africa. And I was surprised that I'd forgotten that we'd made this one, but it was actually about soils. Soils are actually quite difficult to gather in Africa. And for Ghana, we were fortunate to have the opportunity to have some interesting data sets to help us build some soil products. Let me put it back to me again. So one of the things I very much appreciate the opportunity to work with you, and I hope that we have a chance in the future as well to continue this work. I still have my lab. We still write papers and do research. And some of the tools that we build are free tools. So our latest tool and product is coming out next week, and in Nature Scientific Reports, and it'll be public, a free tool that anybody can use to look over all of basically the entire world within the growing regions of the world, and explore how climate change has affected crop niche in those places. So it's an exciting little bit of work, and I still love to do research. I'm very happy to have the opportunity to talk to you. And when I come to Ghana, I'm not going to be talking so much about being an administrator and how to wrangle faculty together. I want to talk about growing maize and growing beans and things like that. So Very excited to have the opportunity to see all of you today. And I wish you the very best with the symposium. And thank you for the opportunity to speak to you. Thank you, Pamela.
Thank you so much, Dean Messina. We're really delighted to have with you and for you to share all of the incredible work you've done over the years with so many of our colleagues in Africa. Next, I'd like to introduce, I'm not sure if Dean Ricky Friend from the College of Community Health Sciences at the University of Alabama is here. If not, we'll move on to the next person, and hopefully Dean Friend will be able to join us a little bit later. So I'd like to next welcome and invite the president of Stillman College, Professor Cynthia Warwick, to share her welcome.
Good morning, my friends in Ghana and at the University of Alabama. Stillman College is the historically Black liberal arts college in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. We were founded in 1876 by the pastor of First Presbyterian Church in Tuscaloosa. And we've shared a great relationship with the University of Alabama since the 1960s during the Civil Rights Movement. I think a lot of people know the university's history with the Civil Rights Movement and I hear someone talking. With the Doorhouse stand and the governor, but may not know that the first student, Vivian Malone Jones, really found refuge at Stillman many times and also experienced her social relationships at Stillman. At Stillman College, we are traditionally liberal arts. Currently, we have 800 students. Most of our students are African American. We do have some international students, but we'd like to increase that relationship. And we have a great relationship with the university. All of our students, both at Stillman and the University of Alabama, can take classes at no additional tuition charge. Our faculty and staff also have a scholarship opportunity at the university where they can take graduate studies at no tuition charge. So it's a wonderful relationship that we're expanding every day, and especially in these international opportunities. I visited Ghana in 1999 to the University of Ghana at Legon and in the geography department, Dr. Messina. I'm not a geographer, I'm a pharmacist, but I'm a health services researcher. So I use GIS to look at the relationship between environmental exposures and certainly disease outcomes. And we held a workshop that I coordinated and brought faculty from 6 HBCUs to the University of Ghana at Legon. And we spent a couple of days during the African American Summit back in '99. So I'm overdue for a visit. I'm sorry I wasn't able to travel with the UA team last year, but I'm looking forward to when we can visit. And I'm also looking forward when we can establish some relationships for you all to come to Stillman, come to Tuscaloosa and UA, and work on developing projects that may be of interest to you. Certainly right now in the United States, the social justice movement, the Black Lives Matters movement is very important. And we understand how important that was in your beginnings, in the 60s. So we are hopeful that we can establish some great relationships, student exchange, faculty exchange. And if you are interested in those types of relationships, our professor on the spot, our Fulbright alum, Dr. Jesse Wheeler, is the person at Stillman College who will facilitate that. He's a Fulbright alum and participated on the continent in Tanzania and other places, and most recently spent many years in Brazil. And so Dr. Wheeler facilitates all of our international opportunities for students and faculty exchange. But we're looking forward to working with you and looking forward to learning more about you. You may want to know one of my favorite people is from Ghana. One of my best friends is Dr. Anthony Wuta, who is the provost at Howard University, which is my alma mater. And so we look forward to even facilitating a relationship between Stillman, Howard, and the University of Alabama. So thanks for this symposium, and look forward to when we can all get together and work towards some great projects.
Thank you so much, President Warwick, for being with us. It's a really exciting time. As you said, Stillman College is just down the road from the University of Alabama, and having you as part of this partnership is just such a wonderful thing. There's really great opportunities for your students and faculty, and working together with all of us and the folks in Ghana as well. So thank you for being here. We appreciate it.
And just a note, evidently most people are now watching on YouTube. So just to kind of let you know about that, there's been a few that have had some challenges getting into Zoom. So I'm not sure if Dean Friend will be able to join us, but I know that they're watching. So I wondered, and I don't want to put you on the spot, Dr. Foster, but would you mind saying just a few words about the College of Community Health Sciences? Sorry to interrupt you, Pamela, but I wanted to.
Sure, love being put on the spot. My name is Pamela Foster. I'm a professor in the College of Community Health Sciences, which is really a branch campus of the UAB School of Medicine. A little confusing, but we have the main campus is up in Birmingham for our medical students, and we have 3 branch campuses. Our campus in Tuscaloosa is the oldest, Huntsville is next, and then we've just added on a new branch campus in Montgomery. So the branch campuses are mainly focused on rural health, because Alabama is primarily a rural state, and primary care. And so that's what we are about. We're excited. Our Associate Dean for Academic Affairs is Dr. Thad Olsen, who is well known to most of you in Ghana. He is also our chair of psychiatry here in our college. So he has been doing partnerships with undergraduate students, medical students, and our family medicine residents. We have a family medicine residency program, longstanding, one of the largest in the country here at our college. So he is, as you know, a psychiatrist who has really been a leader in Ghana around psychiatry and mental health issues. So he has been forging a relationship with our partners in Ghana, and so we're excited about being a part of that. On our visit last year, there were 3 of us from our college who went. Myself, Nathan Comer does a lot of work around medical education, and Dr. Olsen. So we continue to be excited about the opportunities that can happen around health. Of course, we're right in the middle of a huge pandemic that everyone's talking about, COVID-19. And not only are there physical issues around COVID-19, but certainly mental health issues. So we're excited to continue to talk about this huge opportunity to work together.
Thank you, Professor Foster, for jumping in. We really appreciate it. And as all of you who are involved in this program, she's been an instrumental part of our partnership and was with us in Ghana last year. So thank you very much for your leadership in the health profession. So our next speaker is, I think I'm not sure if we have the University of Cape Coast with us. Do we have Professor Boyaki with us?
I just saw Thad pop in. Dr.
Yeah.
Olsen.
And we're still working with with the Dean of International Programs at the University of Cape Coast. So we're hoping that this works. There's a couple of interesting links that that don't seem to be going. So we're trying. So he should be here relatively soon. And yes, Dr.
Okay.
Olden just joined us as well, who's been a part of this. So
I finally got
you
on.
might want to say something. We're still also, I noticed that, and here is our Vice Chancellor of Student Affairs coming in from the University of Ghana as well. He's just joining us.
Oh, great. Wonderful. Okay, great. Well, let's give her a moment to maybe situate ourselves, and then we can invite her to say a few words. Yeah. Professor, whoops, did she disappear? No, we have her. Great. Well, I'd like to welcome Professor, the Pro Vice Chancellor for Student and Academic Affairs, Professor Nana Aba Apia Amfo from the University of Ghana. Welcome, and if you'd like to say a few remarks, we'd like to have you. Oops. Professor, could you just unmute yourself, please?
Okay, yeah, thank you. It happens. Yes, thank you, Pamela, I believe, for welcoming me. And I'm excited to be part of this group of this symposium. And I'm looking forward to fruitful interactions and hopefully strengthening collaborations between University of Ghana and University of Alabama. Thank you.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for being with us and joining us today, as well as for the next few days. We're very happy to have you with us. I think I've seen Professor Boyaki also join.
Hi. Hello. Yeah.
Yes, wonderful. Welcome.
Thank you. Finally, yes. Thank you.
From the University of Cape Coast, the Dean
Right.
of the Center for International Education, Professor Kwaku Boyake. Welcome. Would you like to say a few words? Oh, I think we might have lost him for a moment. Okay.
Right, that's maybe what happens with Zoom a little bit.
It does. So we can come back, and why don't we just jump right along ahead, because we have one more distinguished colleague who is going to give some words of welcome, the Pro Vice Chancellor from Central University, Professor John Ofosu Amin. So welcome, Professor. If you could unmute yourself, that would be terrific.
I think I'm okay now. Good afternoon from Central University. It's nice being with you this afternoon. Your side is the morning, I guess. And for us at Central University, we're very much excited to be part of this symposium. I had the opportunity of meeting Lisa and Ozen, Professor Setapia, when they visited Ghana, I think about 2 years ago. And we're looking forward to deepening the collaboration. I mean, we started talking about signing MOU, among other things. And I do believe that this symposium will give us that opportunity to move the process forward. For us as a young university, we look forward to a collaboration like this, so that we'll pick up on your experiences to make this university a better place to be. Thank you so much, and I look forward to introducing my university to you in due course. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We're very happy to have you with us and appreciate your willingness to be part of this partnership. So thank you. Thank you for being with us. I just would like to just take a moment to thank our distinguished leaders who have joined us today. Professor Boyaki, I think you're back with us. If you
Yes, ma'am. Yes. And
a few words, we'd love to have you.
good afternoon to all of you, and thank you for having me. It's indeed a pleasure. There were a few technological challenges, but I believe I'm here to stay. So I look forward to a great symposium and nice meeting all of you once more. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you for the warm introduction to each one of you. I just want to take a moment and ask our dear colleagues, particularly from the University of Ghana, from Cape Coast University, and from Central University, to share a little bit more with our colleagues about your universities, some of the things that your faculty are working on, and some of the things that are really exciting that are going on in your universities today. So I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome you to share a little bit more information with all of us so we can learn remotely about the work that you're doing.
Okay, so who is starting?
You're welcome to. Please do. Welcome, Professor.
Oh, thank you. In Cape Coast, we have a peculiar issue. We are still kind of trying to wrap up with the unfinished academic semester. Because of the COVID, we had to stagger people's coming in. So we finished with our final years about 3 weeks ago. We got in the first years who are presently writing their examinations. And next week or so, we are bringing in the other continuing students. The point really being that I think much of faculty's attention and administration's attention has been to seeing how we could complete the academic year. But having asked that, I think we have a very comprehensive documentation of all the scholarly activities of staff for the year, which I can make available to you. We recently launched our research report, and it's quite interesting stuff that's going on there. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for sharing the challenges and the ways in which you've had to adapt to complete your academic semester with the coronavirus. It's a challenging time all around the world, and each one of our universities is rising to that challenge in different ways. And so hopefully over the course of the next 3 days, we can share our learning and experiences with each other so that we can grow together.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
sharing.
Yeah.
My dear colleagues from other universities in Ghana, would you like to share?
Okay, thank you, Pamela. So I believe this is pre the presentations we will have to make, right? Yes.
That's
so
correct.
the update from University of Ghana. Yes, we are done with our academic year. We went online like most other universities. Fortunately, the large majority of our students were able to participate. We had like a 90% participation. But even so, we've made provision for those who couldn't participate to come on campus, still doing online, but to use the services available on campus, our computer laboratories, our internet services to complete the academic year. So currently we are preparing ourselves to begin next year. For us all here in Ghana, since our schools were closed by the president, we are expecting that he will make an announcement to that regard. But we are preparing ourselves, and in the meantime, faculty members are finishing up with their marking and also trying to do the research that they can do within this period, even within the constrained environments. We may also know that our Noguchi Memorial Institute for Medical Research has been at the forefront of testing for COVID-19 and other research activities relating to that. Also, other institutes such as WACDEC. And so we all have been have been busy during this period trying to support the national effort to contain this very, I would say, uncomfortable virus which has plunged us into this pandemic. Thank you.
Thank you. And we look forward over the next few days of learning more about all the resources and ways in which you've harnessed the university to really address this major public health issue. So thank you for sharing that information with us. I'd like to also welcome Professor Ofosu Amin. Would you like to share?
Thank you very much, Pamela. It's about the same with us here at Central University. With the lockdown because of COVID-19, we had to move lectures online. We examined students online. Delivering lectures online came with certain challenges that I believe my colleague, the Dean of School of Medicine and Health Sciences, will have the opportunity to speak to you about on Thursday. The challenges notwithstanding, we managed to complete the semester. At the moment, we are uploading examination results for students. And the students who, for some internet connectivity challenges, could not access the online delivery of lectures, we have organized supplementary lectures for them, also supplementary examinations that currently are ongoing, so that no student is left behind because of the challenges that they had with connecting with the internet. So it's all busy here. Faculty are working from home. Some come onto campus observing the social distancing, and we look forward to the new academic year. So far, the government has not given the directive to do face-to-face. So we are looking forward to continuing with the online delivery of lectures for the next academic year. So far, that's what is happening here at Central University. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Ofosu Amin. We appreciate that. I would like to welcome others to ask questions. You can post those questions into the chat, or alternatively, you can raise your hand. And please feel free to ask questions if our distinguished guests would be so willing as to answer any questions that people might have. So please feel free, welcome.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Yeah, how is the government doing with the COVID in Ghana? We recently heard that the airport has been reopened. So what's going on?
Who takes up this? Abba, will you try this one?
Well, I mean, I think that we will be happy to speak to questions relating to our universities and higher education. Yes, the airport has been opened. I haven't been there to experience it, but I know people who have traveled back into the country. They would have to come with a negative COVID-19 test, and also upon arrival, a test is done. That's all I know. I think that it's going on fairly smoothly, but I mean, again, I can't really speak to that. I don't have a personal experience, and I am mandated to speak to that. So
Right,
we'll be
right.
happy to stick to our universities and what we are doing and what's happening here. Thank you.
And Pamela, I would like to add that it's only the airport that is being reopened. Our borders remain closed. Our borders remain closed. And as my colleague said, talking about some of these things have certain ramifications. So we'll confine ourselves to the academic matters of this symposium. But at least for your information, the airport, well, is open. Our land borders are still closed. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you. Actually, if I could just take the moment to follow up on that comment, and maybe you could talk, somebody could talk about the impact that those closures have had on the students or the communities that are surrounding your universities. If you could share any information, that would be interesting for us.
Good, good. I can talk about Central University and especially our foreign students. Most of our foreign students come from Nigeria. So during the lockdown, the students couldn't go home. We had to make provision for them to stay on campus in the hostels. We had to support them materially. That's quite difficult for us, but at least we had to manage under the circumstance. Some students were actually, they were in link with their parents, and their parents were worried about their, their health and safety in the country, but we kept assuring them that Ghana is a very safe place and that all efforts were being made to ensure that COVID does not become something that will wipe us off. Interestingly, when the borders the airport was reopened, most of our Nigerian students decided to fly back to Nigeria to meet parents and to prepare for the next academic year. On the citizenry as a whole, closing the airports, of course, made traveling outside the country and coming into the country difficult. Those who had traveled outside couldn't come. I have a friend who was locked up in London for so long, he ran out of money. And, when that happens to you outside your country, it becomes quite a difficult situation. Thank God, when they opened the airport, he has flown back home. So for us, at least reopening the airport has given us some respite, but we look forward to the land borders also being open. But that depends on how the disease infection either drops or maybe surges. So that's it here now.
Yeah, so really it's a similar situation with us. Some of the international students at the very beginning of the pandemic were able to travel back to their countries, and they continued online from there. Some couldn't travel, and then the borders were closed. And so they had to remain here. And as John said, we also had to support them. And as soon as they could get back, they did get back. Now that the borders have been reopening, well, what I'm hearing now is that international students are concerned about the cost of traveling and also the cost of going through the airport procedures, i.e. having to pay for the COVID-19 test. And so this is a matter that we will try and engage our government, whether the students can be given some form of a rebate or even a waiver when it comes to paying for the test. But of course, those affected businesses, especially those in the hospitality industry, hotels, etc. They haven't had, business has gone down. Now that the borders have reopened, it's picking up, but of course, it's going to be a gradual process. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing those experiences. You know, a few things.
Pamela, I think that you will also be happy to hear some experiences from the other side.
Sure, sure. Great. I'd like to just take a moment, if I could. Professor Dean Ricky Friend is not able to be with us for the moment, but we do have with us Professor Thad Olson, who is the Associate Dean in the College of Community Health Sciences, and is one of the people that set the foundation for this program and this partnership. And so just like to take a moment to welcome him to say a few words to all of you.
It was breaking up, but I think you were talking about me, so I'll speak. Yeah, Dr. Friend has been having some problems connecting. He's our dean. I'm the Associate Dean for Academic Affairs at the college, and I'm happy to welcome all our colleagues from Ghana, and I'm happy to see our University of Alabama side. I just wanted to mention a few things about the work that CCHS has been doing in Ghana for the last few years. I think Dr. Foster is here. She's been a lead HIV investigator with collaborators in Ghana for quite some time. And I've been involved in teaching at the University of Ghana Medical School from about 2000 to 2006. And then we have a team which is led by our department, but has collaborators from Harvard, Boston U, and University of Toronto, who have been teaching at UCC Medical School for about 10 years. And out of that program, we managed to set up electives for UCC students to come to CCHS at the University of Alabama, and they come in to do psychiatry and family medicine. And I think we've done that for the last 5 years. We've had students come from UCC. So we've been building a relationship with both the University of Ghana and the University of Cape Coast. CCHS is, of course, the regional campus of the University of Alabama School of Medicine. So most of our collaborations have been in that area. And I've also had a global health course for about 10 years where University of Alabama students spend time in Elmina and do visit Cape Coast University, though they also interact with Cape Coast University medical students in the clinic. So we've been
Let's just take a moment and see if he's able to reconnect. The challenges that we have with Zoom, it's a wonderful platform, but once in a while we have some challenges associated with it. So just bear with us for one moment.
That's right. And just to mention so that you all, I know this was kind of mentioned earlier by the provost, and I think maybe Dean Messina, both Dr. Olson and Dr. Seth Apaya-Opoku have these long-standing study abroad programs, and they've been doing this for well over 10 to 12 years. And Pamela, you had mentioned this in your introduction. And so they've really been the sort of forces that have helped create this foundation of this growing partnerships between all these universities. So it's been exciting, and they've done global health activities, service learning activities, geography activities, and have really helped to build this exchange. And Dr. Apaya-Opoku is here too. So I don't know if when we're waiting for maybe Thad, I know he does have to leave pretty soon for another meeting. So again, sorry to interrupt, but I was thinking what a wonderful to have these faculty that are here who've been the foundation to these programs. And here comes Dr. Olson again.
Yeah, I think I can say a few words. Yeah, I started this program, the study abroad to Ghana in 2004. So it's been a while. And earlier on, I asked a question about the COVID situation in Ghana. The idea was that, is it going to be safe for us to take students to Ghana anytime soon? That's the reason why I asked the question. Because every summer, I take about 10 to 14 students to Ghana. And when we go to Ghana, we spend about 3 weeks. We go around the country and then spend about a week in Spinyane, where the students do internship, service learning programs in several agencies, planning departments, hospitals, uh, you know, social services agencies. Some even go to the prisons. We do a lot of things in the country. And in fact, most of the students learn a lot when they go to Ghana. You are aware that students that we have here, a lot of them haven't even traveled outside the country, let alone to a developing country like Ghana. So they learn a lot. And most of them actually use that opportunity to get jobs and go to grad schools and so on and so forth. So that has been the situation. Yeah, I think that's all I can say about it for now.
Thank you. Thank you, Professor Apia Poco. You and both you and Professor Olson have really served well the foundation for our students of learning about Ghana and bringing them to Ghana and sharing those experiences. Professor Olson, I know you have to sign off quite soon, but I was wondering if you could share with us from the perspective of the College of Community Health Sciences, some of the ways in which we've heard from our colleagues in Ghana about how they've had to adapt and some of the challenges related to COVID. And maybe you could say a few words from the college's perspective.
Sure. I was going to, and I lost my connection. I'm back now. I hope I can stay on a little bit. The college has had the responsibility of managing the COVID situation on our campus. So we tested over 30,000 students to get them on campus, in addition to everything that we normally do. and we had about 300 positive students on entry, roughly. And then, of course, the students are young people. They came on, in spite of everything they'd been told, they went out to the bars, and we were on national and world television. We had 1,200 cases. And but the university's done well because we have taken the attitude of having a number of dorms for isolating students who are positive. A lot of universities sent people back home to reinfect the community. But I think that it's working out well. We had about maybe 600 beds. We needed more, but the numbers are beginning to trend down. And so I think that with the protocols for social distancing and combination for learning, we should be okay. But the thing with COVID is that it is very unpredictable, and it only takes 1 or 2 people to start another outbreak. So even though things are trending downwards, we're still extremely vigilant. The other reality is that the university is not an island in Tuscaloosa, so the students go out, and many students live outside and may not follow the protocols that are suggested. But it has been extremely overwhelming for our college trying to do this. Thankfully, the administration is giving us more staff, so we're hiring more people, and we're hoping to continue to keep the campus safe and allow learning and research to go on in spite of all of this. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Thank you for sharing. And the common theme that I'm hearing through all of this is that there are a lot of challenges, whether it has to do with the closure of land borders, and so therefore students aren't able to get home, planes aren't flying, parents are concerned about their children and making sure, rightfully so, that their children are safe. The challenges and the stresses on faculty who are doing work on COVID on top of what they're already doing. So, we're hearing some of the similar challenges that are happening both in Ghana as well as in the United States. So thank you very much for sharing that. I just want to welcome people to also add again into the chat function any questions that you have. And in the meanwhile, while you're thinking of questions, one of the questions that I have, and I'd love to hear from our colleagues in Ghana about, I'm particularly passionate about community engagement and how higher education works in partnership with those who surround our campuses. So I'm interested to hear from our dear colleagues in Ghana how you work with or support communities that surround where your institutions are located, and some of the work that your faculty might do, or staff for that matter.
If I may.
Welcome, please.
Right. I know I've seen Professor Ivy Ekem on this platform. I've also seen Dr. Obri Yabua on this platform. And I know very well that the medical school has some very awesome outreach programs. I'm sure Professor Ivy Ekem will speak more to them. They have one they call the COBIS. But Prof, thank you for smiling. I think Prof Ivy can take it away from there. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Actually, I was looking for a place to raise my hand, but I couldn't find it. So just as Kweku has said, the medical school has a community engagement program that's an integral part of the curriculum. So from levels 200 to 500, they go into the communities for 3 weeks at a time. And it's called community-based experience and service. So whilst gathering data and other things towards their learning, they also offer service to the community. And it's, like he said, the flagship program for this university. And it involves a lot of, apart from statistics, data collection, etc., the students also get the opportunity to work with individuals whom they may never had the opportunity to meet. So they meet all levels of social classes, and they have to learn how to live with them, how to make them understand, how to understand each other. And they've actually been able to do a lot of good things for the community, including providing, some of them teach their JHS students. So we've actually gotten in one of the villages a student who is a candidate for the university for our medical school. And I know he came for the interview. I'm not sure what the outcome was. Apart from that, they put up toilet facilities for them, water pumps. I'm not sure about water pumps, but teach them little things that help them improve their health. So the medical school here in Cape Coast does a lot with the communities. Thank you very much.
That's great. Thank you so much for sharing that information. And we look forward over the next few days of learning more about those initiatives that you have.
Thank you.
Although I know you asked the Ghana side, but I have something to add. First of all, for those who weren't here at the beginning, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Jesse Wheeler, and I currently work at Stillman College. So I'm with Dr. Warwick here. And although my official title is chair of the Art, Music, and Language Education Department, I also function as the study abroad office. And that's because I brought to the college some 20 years of experience working in international education. It started with my own experiences living abroad, including in Kenya as an undergraduate, and then subsequent opportunities to work. The president mentioned that I worked in Tanzania and also Malawi. But there were many other occasions where I went to different parts of Africa, including Ghana and Nigeria, for various reasons. And she also mentioned that most recently I spent a long time in Brazil, and that was 18 years actually. So over these last 20 years, 25 years, I've developed a number of community engagement programs, sometimes with universities here in the United States as partners, together with a community in some other country. So most recently, I worked, it was January of this year actually, I took students both from Stillman and a college in California to an Amazonian community in Brazil. And we worked for 3 weeks with a community with approximately 95 families on a number of projects that they've had ongoing. And some of those are health related, in fact. So apropos a lot of the areas of expertise that you all have and the discussions that you've been initiating. As someone else mentioned at the very beginning of the conversation, we too have really valued long-term partnerships. And so, for example, this community that I mentioned, it's called Anã in the state of Pará. We've been working with them since 2000, well, we've been in the region since 2002. So, and we've gone to that village maybe 7 times over the years, but we've taken similar groups to Tanzania, to Puerto Rico, to Haiti, to Dominica, and also here in the United States we've worked more, so closer to home. In New Orleans several times, 5 times as a matter of fact, after Katrina. So usually our impulse is to take students from the US to some other part of the world so they get the benefit of the international exchange and the cultural exchange and learning about other people and the way they live and what they do, but also they partner in some kind of project, and so they learn from others what their issues are that they're facing and what their solutions are, and then they collaborate. And so students bud in terms of creativity, and they feel useful. They make friendships, many of which continue for years and years and years. Social networking really has enabled our students to stay in contact with students and community members, not always students, but from other countries. And so this is really one of the things that Dr. Warwick was most excited about in terms of my resume when she hired me for this position. We've had to cancel some recent trips, as you might imagine. We were due to go to Brazil in May, and I believe again in January. We had another trip to Brazil planned. Both of those had to be canceled. One will be postponed till May of next year. And we're looking into a number of them, but we've pushed them off a little bit just to kind of, figure out how things are going to go. So, yeah. Our investment in community engagement is as high as can be, really, over here at Stillman, and we look forward to partnering with everybody and anybody on this call. Opportunities to do things that are short term, longer term, that are in person, that have a virtual component if necessary. So please call on us.
Thank you so much, Dr. Wheeler. Thank you. And thank you for being here and being part of this group. You have, ever since we first met you, we were just so amazed by the wealth of experience and knowledge that you brought to Stillman, as well as to the partnership here with the University of Alabama. And I know that others will, as they get to know you, we will find some more partnership relationships that we can build together. And I think you mentioned something really important, which is about the nature of partnerships and how having that conversation and building a conversation with each other to learn about what everybody brings to the table, what each partner brings in terms of knowledge, skills, expertise, and how we bring those together for creating something for the good, whether it be research, whether it be exchanges with our students, opportunities for learning, and how we can do that in a collaborative way is just so important. And I think we can all agree upon that, no matter where we are. I just wanted to take a moment to ask Professor Hay McCutcheon. I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I know you have a wonderful bus, the Here Here bus, which would you like to say a few words about that and the work that you do with that?
Sure, I love talking about the Here Here Alabama truck. So this is a very large mobile audiology clinic that we take to rural counties south of Tuscaloosa. And we provide hearing evaluations, hearing screenings, and we're involved in some community-based participatory research. And we're trying to improve access to hearing health care through this project. Hearing loss is one of those conditions that seems to get neglected in the overall health of individuals. And that actually has led to a number of other issues. So we're finding that hearing loss is associated with other physical conditions and with other emotional and just mental health issues. So if we can address hearing loss, if we can improve access to hearing health care, then we're hopeful that we'll be able to provide, an overall, an entire body process for helping people who have hearing loss in addition to other physical and emotional conditions. So we have another number of projects in the works, and we're currently waiting funding decision on one project. So we've got our fingers and toes crossed for that one.
Well, thank you so much for sharing. And for our colleagues in Ghana, we hope that when you are able to come in person, we can do a tour of this, this truck that Marcia has almost single-handedly, if not single-handedly, put together, and the great service that they not only provide, but the research they do in the community surrounding the area where our campus is located.
I would love to give a tour to everyone.
Wonderful. Well, thank you. Thank you. I just wanted to give a moment to Dr. Tara Moak, who would like to say a few words of welcome. She has to run to a class quite soon, but I'd like to turn the floor over to you to say a few words.
Thank you. I just wanted to take the opportunity to say good morning, especially to all of our friends across the ocean in Ghana. I am Tara Mock. I am actually new to the University of Alabama, having traveled from New England College, but prior to that, worked at Michigan State University for 5 years, where I worked very closely with the African Studies Center there, which I know has a number of very close relationships with many of your universities. I've been working in Ghana for about 11 years, in addition to 3 other countries on the continent where I continue to research and also bring students. I understand that there are already a number of study abroad programs in Ghana, so I'm not certain that there is space for me to continue my program here, but I will add that my program focuses on something very different, which is innovation and entrepreneurship, and figuring out ways to establish connections between young scholars, both here and there, in ways that can actually create very innovative projects, which is what we've been doing for the last 3 years. So I'm hopeful that perhaps at some point throughout the next few days, or if not in the coming weeks and months, that perhaps we can have some additional conversations regarding this. I wish you well, and I hope to be back in between my courses. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. And as you can see, there's a diversity of ideas, research interests, and that's part of the whole idea around this partnership, is that we have the ability and the opportunity to expand where we've started from our humble beginnings to include others, because this is an inclusive partnership and we want to be able to bring in different ideas, different experiences. And so the innovation work that you do is something that I know that the students are very interested in, and there's potentially some areas for further collaboration. So welcome to being part of this group. Welcome to the University of Alabama. We're very happy to have you here with us as part of this program. So I just wanted to take a moment to see if there's others that would like to give either some comments or add to the discussion that's going on. So let me just pause for a moment. If anybody would like to add, please feel free to unmute your microphone, and please share either some words about your research or any remarks that you'd like to make.
Okay, so this is Ivy again. This is a very general remark. And that is my view of collaborating with community. There's been a lot of talk about graduates being out of touch with the community or their surroundings. And I really think that the university as a whole, wherever they may be, must do a lot more with community, with the students, to change this, this view. Because the university shouldn't be an island, and students shouldn't complete and get out and feel they are a different category. So I think we should all work more with the communities around us. Thank you very much.
Thank you for sharing that insight. That is certainly an important conversation to be having about how we can create that relationship with the communities so that students have an understanding of the communities, how communities work, how we best can work together. So thank you for sharing your insights, and I look forward to hearing if, over the course of the next few days, ideas, and maybe we can come up with some creative ideas and ways in which we can foster those relationships. I see that there.
I just wanted to add on to what Professor Ivy just said. I have been in higher ed about 25 years, close to 25 years. And from the beginning have been doing the CBPR model. I think Dr. Marsha talked about community-based participatory research model. UA is my 5th institution. I've always been excited about engaging students in learning outside of their medical environment, out in the community. The value of that is obvious. It makes for better clinicians once they get out and practice. But the support, I'm so happy to see administrators here, because a lot of that support for doing that kind of work has to come, you have to have support from higher up. And so when a provost, when a president really understands it and can support faculty and students in those endeavors, it really makes my heart jump for glee, because that's not the case all the time. It's a definite push and pull tension because it doesn't fit into a traditional professional, academic professional career. In the three areas we have to work in: service, teaching, and research. So I'm happy to know that administrators are here to support faculty who want to do this kind of work.
Well, thank you for sharing your insights and experiences, and we very much appreciate that. And I see that Jesse might still be on, oh, whoops, would you like to add some more?
Yes, Dr. Obiri-Able has
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Okay, thank you. So I've had my hands up for a while. I've just tried to add to this discussion on community engagement. So, hi everyone. I think for this purpose, I'm the immediate past dean of the School of Nursing and Midwifery of University of Cape Coast, and currently the deputy director for the Directorate of Research, Innovation, and Consultancy. So what I wanted to add is that definitely training students without community engagement is something that should no longer be encouraged. And at the School of Nursing and Midwifery, during my time and work, is still going to continue. We have this collaboration with other universities outside, including the Grand Valley State University, US, that every year brings students here from their nursing school and community health and public health programs. And if nothing at all, during their stay, these groups always engage with the communities. So every visit, we would select a community that would be the focus for that year. And they would go do education, do screening, and anything that the community need. So they will do the need assessment and at the beginning, and then plan an intervention that can be done within the period of the stay. So this is something that has really been a good thing, not just for the Ghanaian students, but also from the students from Grand Valley State University. And it's something we keep looking forward to doing with all other universities that would want to engage the school. Of course, this year, COVID came in, and so we woke up one day and had to quickly arrange for all the students and faculty to return to the US before the border closed. And so that cut the program short, but we hope that things return to a way that will allow for such programs to be continued. And aside that, the students themselves in their training during the mental health aspect of the nursing program and the community health program, they also do a lot with the communities and assessing children for possible mental disabilities and other things that can be picked up, and then linking them to appropriate services that they would require. So I think there's opportunity for all faculty and schools and our universities to work together and engage the communities more for the training of students, and also even building a reputation where the communities recognize the role of the universities in their life. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing such important insights about the work of nursing and the ways in which it's so important and vital to be linking with the community, understanding what the community's needs are, and having our students and faculty working with to address a range of issues when it comes to health needs in the community. One of the things I just wanted to mention to those on the call is that the University of Alabama holds a classification, which is it's done by the Carnegie Foundation for the Advancement of Teaching, and it's classified, it's an elective classification which universities can go through to be a community engaged campus. And this is something that we have to recertify every about 5 to 8 years. Where we demonstrate the ways in which we as a university are working with communities across a whole range of work, whether it be teaching, research, or service. And we've also quite recently, as part of our faculty reporting, are also been including community engaged learning as part of the things that we track for our faculty, because we do emphasize and place a special focus on community engagement. We have a division of community affairs, and so we do really believe that it's an important way to help students to learn through those experiences, how faculty can also work to carry out research, and ways in which we can do teach our classes. And I don't know, Jesse, if you might want to say any words about Stillman College and how Stillman College, I know you're very well integrated into the community here in Tuscaloosa.
I'm sorry, so you were asking me if I would like to say something about Stillman and Stillman's participation in the community?
That's correct, yes.
Well, what we have right now are a number of initiatives. Well, I worked most recently with students who were attempting to learn more about the political system here in the United States and how they can be, how they can represent their voices. This began last semester, actually, in partnership with UA. I started working with the School of Social Work at UA in September, I believe, of last year, and then our students visited UA. Some of your students came up here, and we worked with community members in such a way as to for everyone to learn about the importance of contacting your elected officials, to write about issues that matter to you, find out who it is actually in local government that's working on an issue of importance to you, and then students discovered kind of, what it means to be engaged in that particular way, in part to prepare them for a deeper kind of engagement. I myself have experience in that area because in 2008, I was the deputy field organizer for the Obama campaign in New Hampshire, which is a perennial battleground state. And so I was sent to Concord, and I trained a lot of volunteers there, and we turned that state entirely to the Obama side, right? It's typically been a libertarian state, so traditionally it's voted for the Republican Party. So the idea was to eventually prepare students to be able to go into their communities and canvass. I don't think that's going to happen, actually, because of all the concerns that have arisen since then. But that's one particular project we have going on right now. And we have a community engagement officer here who works in the office adjacent to the president's. Rashida Workman is her name, and she's actually currently serving as the interim vice president of strategic initiatives. And so we've begun talking about a number of projects to expand what our students can do here locally in Tuscaloosa. We are working with Arts and Autism, which for those who don't know it, it's an organization that's existed for a couple of decades, I think, already. It's right down the street from us. And over the years, we've become closer and closer with them. And now their students, all of whom are, or I should say participants in their programs, and they have all ages up through adults. But we are now working more closely with the young adults who have come here to Stillman, to my department, to take art classes. And now they're becoming degree-seeking students. And we're expanding our collaborations with them in one particular area that I think is interesting. We've worked for some time now to raise money to create a community garden. And I myself began an experiment with my family this summer in beekeeping. And one of the things that we're going to do with Arts and Autism is set up some beehives so that they can learn to keep bees. And we have an area on campus that used to be an orchard. I mean, many years ago, I've looked at some old maps of Stillman's campus, and it produced a lot of food. There was livestock here, and there were gardens and orchards and such. And, you know, not much of that really remains. There are a few fruit trees, but we're hoping to revitalize that part with hoop houses, which are like greenhouses for the community garden. We would like to create a farmer's market here on the West End. So we're working with this particular Arts and Autism, this local community organization, bringing them onto our campus in the hopes of teaching our students to some degree about what it means to have autism and to work with students who have some neurological and learning differences. By having them in the classroom together, and I have to say, art classes is a wonderful place to actually to approach subjects like that, because you're creating together and you're critiquing things together. And since the object is outside of you, you know, you are really focusing your conversations about something that's, in a sense, it's a collaborative project. So it takes people outside of their own experience, and then it forces them to communicate with each other. And so it's been really successful. So those are just two, but we have a number of other ones kind of in the hopper, so to speak, and that's really exciting. We're a very small campus, but we're very dynamic, and there are many people here in Tuscaloosa who are very proud of this institution, and so they get excited about, you know, opportunities to engage with us. And our current president she's really creating good relationships with everyone in the immediate neighborhoods as well as Tuscaloosa and wider Alabama.
Thank you so much, Dr. Wheeler, for sharing that the work that you're doing at Stillman College. And yes, Dr. Warwick, President Warwick, is an amazing woman. If anyone has an opportunity to hear her give a longer speech, she's very inspirational in her work and her experiences. So what we would like to do is we're thinking that we will take a bit of a break now, and we will reconvene at 10:50 here in Alabama, which would be 3:50 in Ghana, for our keynote address. And for those of you who might not have had the opportunity yet to look at the agenda, I just wanted to share with you the keynote address is going to be around issues of chronic disease management in minority patients. So there's been quite a bit of talk about racial disparities related to health issues with COVID, and this is an opportunity to hear about chronic disease management in minority patients from Dr. Reagan Durant, who is from the University of Alabama in Birmingham. And so we will reconvene again, 10:50 in Alabama, which would be 3:50 in Ghana, to listen to that keynote address. So we welcome you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dr. Young, so much for for moderating this, and thank you all for your time. It's been wonderful to see you all. I know that there's so many things that are going on, so it's hard to set up a lot of time for this, but I'm so excited to hear the faculty presentations coming Wednesday and Thursday. So yes, we encourage you, please tell your friends to join in via YouTube, or send us an email if they want to join via Zoom, but we'll have our presenter coming shortly. Okay, well, we can talk if you want for a little bit. I'm probably
we still have quite a few people here on.
Should we come out of it completely or just leave it on?
I think we should come out of it because we're also recording it. So why don't we come out of it, and I will I can send you all a real quick link.
Okay, yeah. Thanks.
And Pam, just Harold, if you want to, we can end our YouTube